I don't personally celebrate Valentine's Day because I see it as a pagan holiday. But wow, when I was out and about today at the gym and going to the grocery store, you could easily start to tell just by the cadence of the women around and the men. Like there was a a decrease of men out and about today, I noticed. Like more so than usual, and there were way more women. And I also noticed that there were women with a lot of their children out and about today too. And I wasn't really sure whether or not, I couldn't really tell if they were single moms or not, but that was something that was kind of strange today too. And in all honesty, I kind of like I knew it was Valentine's Day, but it wasn't at the top of my mind when I was going out to run my errands or to just go to the gym or anything like that. It wasn't at the top of my priority list or anything. And again, like I don't follow pagan holidays, but what I began to notice is that you can easily see how people are prioritizing relationships based off of how they're interacting this day. I got way more eye contact today than I usually do. And at the gym, I don't know, I didn't know what it was for a second there because women were just, they were very open, they were communicative, they were very soft. They were not like this masculine force, they were way more like I don't know, they were just very much more flower like than usual. And I was just baffled by this behavior because I hadn't really noticed it before. Like I have noticed it, but not to the significance in which I saw it today. And even out and about, there were, you could obviously tell the women that were just trying to get attention. And, then you had the women that actually seemed like they were very interested in wanting something or someone this day. And again, even though I'm not a proponent of Valentine's Day, because this is something I heard walking by on my errands. I heard a group of girls talking about their Galentine's Day. They're gonna have Galentine's Day this night, and they don't need men to have a Galentine's Day and celebrate love. And it's like, okay, well, ultimately though, God is love, and love is God in some sense. So why not celebrate that every day? Because they were saying, well, today's a celebration for love. It's like, but we don't need men to have love. And it's like, well, you're right. You need God. You don't need men to have love, but you do need men to lead you toward love to some degree. And it's likewise for men. Men can get, like, us men, we need that feminine energy just as much as the feminine energy needs the masculine energy. But you could also see out and about today who is prepared, right, and who's not prepared. And then you could also tell the really thirsty women. Like at the gym again, holy moly. These women they were not shy. Like they were not shy at all. They were very, very, very open about their interest. And once I caught on to exactly what was going on, because I remembered, oh yeah, that's right. It's Valentine's Day. That's why these women are acting so much different. It's like, why? Like we get this day where this kind of stuff happens once a year. And I do think there's like a spirit to this day, just as much as any other holiday out there, really. But you also have to understand, especially the men out there that are attractive, godly men. We'll call them the AGMs. Ooh, we can call them the GMs. The GMs, the godly men. I like that. So the GMs out there, you've got to be extremely careful because on days like today, the Jezebels are out. The Jezebels are on the hunt, man. They're on the prowl. You got to be careful. You got to be careful because they will try to pull you away from God if you're not careful. And You'll notice who's pulling you toward God and who's not. You'll know a woman that has strength and honor as her clothing and who does not have strength and honor as her clothing. How? Well, number one, she's not going to be bending over in front of you, oops, or just oops when she's picking stuff up at the gym. It's not going to happen that way. Or when you're out and about at the store, a woman with strength and honor as her clothing is not going to be wearing she's not going to be wearing these leggings that reveal every nook and cranny about her. Okay? That's not going to happen either. And as tempting as it may be for the GMs out there, you have to understand that you have the power to choose in these situations. Are you going to choose to go after a fling because some woman is giving you this kind of attention, or are you not? And look, for all of the men that are on semen retention out there as well, you have to understand that today is not a day that you'd want to give up that release, if anything else. And the reason for that is because I genuinely believe that if you act in such a way that gives energy to the spirit of this pagan holiday, you're going to move in a direction that is counterproductive to grow closer to God. I genuinely believe that. Now, you may or may not disagree with me, and that's fine, but that's what I think, and I've lived my life accordingly for the last couple years. Well, 3 years now. I haven't celebrated pagan holidays. And it's like each year and each holiday that comes around, I learn something new about the holiday that I've always seen before. Like, I've always seen it, but it hasn't been exactly revealed to me until the time it is revealed to me. And so something else that I've noticed around these kinds of holidays with the Jezebels too is the Jezebels, they want a gift. They want something. I heard when I was out at the coffee shop, there were these two girls that were talking next to me, and they were talking about if they received anything from their boyfriends yet. One didn't have a boyfriend, and the other said that she thinks that he's going to get her something later tonight. And, oh, what is it? What is it? What is he going to get you? Oh, I don't know. They want the things. They don't want you, man. They want the things. They don't want to spend quality time. And guess what? Later on, that same woman that had a boyfriend was flirting with me subtly while I was ordering my food. And she was looking at me and, flipping her hair. And she just was barely talking about her boyfriend. And while she's waiting for her drinks and I'm ordering mine, she's looking at me like I'm a freaking piece of meat. And it's like, you gotta be kidding me. I think this these kinds of pagan holidays, guys, it's not Christ. The spirit of Christ is not in these kinds of holidays. I don't think it is. From everything that I've seen, and even just not participating in it, it's like I'm on top of a high mountain overlooking the village, and you can just see with great clarity the details of the village and like the spirit that's around the village and just everything going on inside the community. And look, I'm not even in a place that's like a big city. Like, I'm not even in a big city right now. It's more like a half suburb, half city, because it's a college town, but it's also a family town. And that's one of the reasons why I like this place, is because there's a lot of variety and movement in it, but it's also not super big. It's not a large enough city to where you could be like in the city, right? So it's still fairly, as far as like resources and expenses go, it's a fairly affordable place to be, but you still have all of the amenities of everything and that a city would have. So in that case, it's actually quite nice and it's quite good, but my goodness, like you still got the kind of stuff that would happen in the cities. And we have to be, as GMs, we have to be ready for the kind of smoke that's going to come along with messages like this. I'm well aware that this kind of message is not going to resonate with a lot of people, but it's also probably going to touch a lot of people and make them think a bit differently about how they should celebrate these kinds of holidays and how to celebrate love and relationships. I mean, you can easily tell who just wants to, like, you can easily tell who actually wants what nowadays, on especially around time periods like this and holidays like this. You can tell what exactly people are really looking for and what exactly people are really trying to get from you and how they're trying to get it. And truth be told, there's a lot of men and women out here that are just, they're just not making it. They're just not making life what they need to be. And look, when I'm pointing fingers out there, I'm pointing back at myself too. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm building and I'm prioritizing and I'm sacrificing and I'm doing as much as I can each day to make sure that I am going to reorient my life to be where I want to be. And celebrating Valentine's Day, that doesn't, it's just not going to be part of my regimen. Even if I was in a relationship right now with a woman, and I'm not. If I were in a relationship with a woman, I would say to her, no, in this relationship, we're following the Most High God. We're going to follow in the spirit of Jesus, and we're going to live out that. We're not going to live through all of these pagan holidays. We're not going to celebrate pagan holidays. We're going to celebrate love every day. We're going to celebrate God every day. We don't need these holidays to show and to demonstrate to one another that you're special. And look, like even nowadays, like specialness has gone out the window. When's the last time you met someone that you really thought that they were like special or different to you? Like I've met fairly attractive women, but like even then, like, I would prefer the personality of someone that wasn't quite so attractive, because at least she's going to have substance. You know, at least she's going to have something to her. A lot of these attractive women out here, like that's it. That's all they've got. Like that's it. They look good. And yeah, like they do look good. And they do take care of their health physically, but the mentality just, it's out the window, man. It's out the window. And a lot of these guys out here are the same way. You see these dudes at the gym, like 220 pounds, 6 feet tall, and yet when you talk to them, it's like, can you carry a conversation, man? Like, can you talk? Like, do you have social skills? Do you have soft skills? Like, holy crap, dude. Or this is another thing I've noticed around holidays like this. People will try to generate conflict when there's no need for conflict. Like, you see it at Thanksgiving, you see it at Christmas, you see it at Halloween, all these whatever holidays, all these pagan holidays, you see conflict arising because sometimes people just can't handle not having conflict. And those are the kinds of people that you definitely want to stay away from, especially around these times where the spirit of the holiday is just all over the place. It's just everywhere. It's people are just succumbing to the idolization of the holiday itself in some ways. But all in all, you want to watch out for the Jezebels. If you're on semen retention right now, men out there, stay on retention. Women, I know that if there are some of you out there that may be a little bit lonely today, please don't just go give it up to some random guy. Please don't. Like, don't do the walk of shame in the morning. We don't want you to do that. Here on this channel, we're not making hoes anymore. Like, we're just not. That's not what we're about. I used to think, like, I confess my sins, and the Bible says that if you confess your sins to one another, iron sharpens iron, right? So I used to think that having one night stands would be the way to go. And I haven't been intimate with anyone for years now. But in my early 20s, I thought that was the way. And I couldn't have been further from the truth. And even though I didn't do it a lot, I did it enough to where after a few times, I realized, wow, I feel more empty than I did before I started trying to do this kind of stuff. Like, yeah, I got my rocks off, but now what? Now I'm further away from God. And at the time, I didn't know that that's exactly what it was, but that's what it was. So I encourage you, women, if you are waiting on a husband or you're waiting on a long-term relationship, please do so. And men out there, don't just go after the hoes because they're horny today, because they are horny. Holy crap. Yeah, that was very evident from the get-go of today. At the gym, in the stores, yeah, it was very evident who was ready to go. They were not ready to be alone on Valentine's Day, and they were going to get whoever they could get so that they were not alone on Valentine's Day. It's not the way to be. It's not the way we want to go. It's not the way we're going to grow. So with that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful. And until next time, peace be with you.